Hello. Today we will be looking at the UNISA Theory of Music Solfa notation questions. These examples today will come from the grade 1, grade 2 and grade 3 syllabus. So let's dive right into it. So today I thought we'd do something a little bit different. I'm here with my pencil and the paper and an eraser. So we are going to do it from this angle today, not on the board, not anywhere else. UNISA does in their syllabus refer to the necessary requirements for grades 1, 2 and 3 when it comes to Solfa notation. After that, there is not a requirement for Solfa notation anymore. In pre-grade 1, you're literally just asked to know the Solfa syllables, as in do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do, with the superscript for the higher tonic. But today we're looking at grade 1, then grade 2 and grade 3. So here is a grade 1 example. We most likely will get a 2-4 example. So technically they could ask you 2-4 or 3-4. Remember that a long dash means we are continuing a note. So first things first, they give us do is F. That means we are in F major. So that means I already put my key signature in. I then need to put my time signature, our little dotty dotty or our little colon. Make sure that we know where our beats are. It separates beats. So on the one side of the colon there'll be a beat, on the other side there'll be a beat. So this means we have a 2-4 example here, and this already shows us that this is our bar line. They are bar lines. So we have 2-4, we need to put that in. Then we have to understand, according to our Solfa, what are we doing in F major? For instance, do is going to be F, re is going to be A. I'm lying. Do is going to be F, re is going to be G, mi is going to be A, fa is going to be B flat, so is C, la would be D, T would be E, and the top do would be F once more. So mi would be A, so we have a crotchet A there. So would be C, so we have a crotchet C there, and do. So this is not the top do, so we're not going to go over there on the line, but we're going to go on the space. So it's a minim because there is a dash. If it was empty, that space after this colon, it would mean it's a rest there, and then it would be crotchet rest. But because of this dash, it is now a minim. So don't get confused with that. So that is our grade 1 example. Let's move on to our grade 2 example. Our grade 2 example is, of course, a little bit more intricate. So they do tell us on the third line, our do is B flat. So the do, bottom do, would be this line, and top do would of course be there. So I'm just going to erase that. And we of course need to know where everything lies. So what is B flat? In B flat major, yes, it's the tonic. That means yes, it's the do. So we need to outline that. So we have do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. There we go. Quick rough work. And we basically have B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat. So our first do they show us is the top do. But before that, we need to put in our key signature and our time signature. So our colons separate our beats. So that means there's a space for a beat here, there's a space for a beat here, and there's a space for a beat here. 1, 2, 3, meaning we are in 3/4 time. So 3/4 time, we start in the top do. Looks like these are all just crotchets. Nothing else. We don't have anything smaller than a crotchet at this level. It's only going to be basically a semi-brief, you know, if we're in 4/4 time. But I don't even think they'll ask this at this level. They still only want 2/4, 3/4 at the level of grade 1 as well as grade 2. So in grade 2, they're just going to give you a bit more hectic keys, so to speak. And maybe some top do's, but definitely your longest note value would be a dotted minim at this level, and you can have minims and you can also have crotchets, and that is that, nothing smaller than a crotchet. So we have our top do. We then have mi, which is D. Great. We have re, which is C, and then we have do, which is B flat, and they have emptinesses here. So they don't have dashes, which would indicate longer note values or a held note. Here's empty. So we have rests. So we have a crotchet B flat as well as then a rest and a rest. Here also your grouping comes in handy because you're not going to put these two together to make a minim rest, because remember, you can't do that on beats 2 and 3. So Yep, there we go. And it's interesting. The higher you go, the more it counts, because we in grade 1 saw that we had a Solfa exercise count 8 marks, and here we are in the grade 2 level and it counts 10 marks. So don't throw marks away. This is a staple section where you can actually get good marks if you really just focus. Now we're on to the grade 3 example. So at the grade 3 level, you'll see we're still sticking with 10 marks. However, you may not get more difficult key signatures, but you will get a more difficult example with some more punctuation indicating more intricate diminutions of rhythms, which means you will get smaller note values now, up to and including the quaver. So we can have quavers, we can have crotchets, we can have minims, we can have dotted minims, and finally, because we are asked to do and recognize Solfa notation into staff notation in 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4, we finally can have a semi-brief, technically. You know, if they don't ask it to us, they don't ask it to us, but if they do, they do. So here we have an example. We have 2 colons in each bar, meaning that there would be space for 1, 2, 3 beats. So here we are in 3/4. So not too difficult. That was F. We know that we need to put in our key signature and then our time signature. We do know in F major we need to outline our notes. We have a B flat, of course. Top do. So do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. This is just some very ugly rough work. But we have top do and ti within the first beat, and it's separated by a full stop. This means quavers. So we have do, ti, right? That's our first beat. Then top do, which is this F again, that is only a crotchet. Then we have so with a dot and nothing. So there's a space there, meaning that we will actually have a C quaver followed by a rest, a quaver rest, because we need to, you know, fill up that beat. So that's our first bar. Our second bar is mi fa, so A B flat. Those are quavers because it's separated by a full stop. Yay for punctuation. We have our colon, which means the separation of a beat. We have re, and that is just a crotchet, so that is a G crotchet. And then after this second semicolon, which means now we're looking to our third beat, there's a rest. So nothing means a rest. That translates into a rest, a crotchet rest there. Then our last bar, we have do. That's great. And we have do elongated because it's held by these dashes. So it's for full 3 beats. Beat 1, beat 2, beat 3. It's a full dotted minim, do. So we have that going for us over there, dotted minim. And 10 marks for that. I will show you an example of a 4/4 example that I marked from a student who actually got 4 marks. So let's take a look at that grade 3 example in 4/4. So here we go. Here is a real life example that a student filled in. Yay, 10 out of 10, full marks. For Solfa notation at the grade 3 level, we actually have a more difficult key signature here. So A major, there are 3 sharps, and you of course have to put it in its order. Now, what is interesting to note is that bar lines are of course indicated with lines, as our normal bar lines are in staff notation. But half of the bar is then separated with this short little line. Now, that should not be confused with an L for la. That is a line. It's a bit thinner than the L. And also then we would have these colons indicating separation of beats. So we'll have half of the bar separated by this, and that we would know indicates, okay, we're in 4/4 time. Then colon, colon, we have beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, and beat 4. So that's how we know we're in 4/4 time. So key signature, correct. Time signature, correct. Do is of course A, so we're in A major, and everything needs to then be written according to A major, right? So obviously do is A, and of course everything in here in the Solfa notation can be transcribed into staff notation when you outline your Solfa according to your key. So we do know that full stops split beats in half. They split crotchet beats in half, so that means they're going to be quavers. So of course here we have A, B, C sharp, E, F sharp, we have E crotchet, B crotchet, D minim. And there are no rests in this example because there are no spaces. There are only separations of beats, and within those separation of beats, there are Solfa syllables. So I hope that does give you a nice insight into what UNISA would ask and expect of you in 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4 time, and also what they expect of you in grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3 for Solfa notation transcribed into staff notation. I must say, over many years of past papers, they have not asked staff notation into Solfa notation. They always give you Solfa and they expect you to write into staff notation. So I hope that does help you. All the best for your preparation for your Solfa notation section for your UNISA Theory of Music exams.